Joining on the sofa with Esther, Sunday, the 30th of June, is Berenice Scott, multi-instrumentalist who tours with the likes of Heaven 17 and Simple Minds. Joni will be talking about her recently released album, A Joni Kind of Mood, where she will be performing at London's Pizza Express Live, Holborn, on the 20th of July.
Got it.
So here we go. Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Welcome to On the Sofa with Esther. And today with me, tonight, wherever you are, I've got Berenice Scott, the Berenice Scott. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Brilliant, real pleasure. Right, Berenice, I've got to ask that really, really boring question that I ask everybody in who is Berenice Scott? In a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or you look like a coconut. Who is this?
Oh yeah, coconut. Well, I like coconut milk, so some of that. Who am I? I guess I am very much, I feel like I'm very much music, but then sometimes I feel kind of like a blank canvas sometimes. So every day feels like a new day, but music's always there in the background.
Mm, that says a lot, Berenice. I could go deep with this, but I know we got about 15 minutes. Because when
Yeah.
you blank canvas, that's really good because that means you can recreate yourself, recreate music, recreate every day something different. And what that sort of sometimes feels like it goes against the norms of society where, you're sort of put in a box, you got to be pop, you got to be this, you got to be that.
Yeah.
Every day you can be somebody different, and that's an aspect of you, would you say?
I've never actually really thought about it until you asked that question. So it's like,
Quite
that
deep.
just occurred to me. Yeah. Because, yeah, I do like to just try and change it up. And I guess it's not that I get bored of things, but I guess if I do a project, like any artist, you excavate it so much that you just feel exhausted by it and want to try something new because that's almost something that you've just done. And let's move on to the next thing. And so I guess that, yeah, then you become a blank canvas again.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
that in itself is really, really quite powerful. And even for me, I'm thinking, oh, what can I do next in terms of what I do? So you've given me, an idea of
Yeah.
myself as I evolve every day. And
Mm.
talking about that, I mean, you're a multi-instrumentalist, you're a vocalist, you are, you've just got this expansiveness about you, and yet you still curtail it, and then you expand and you curtail it. It's just kind of like it's like going into Hamley's, the toy shop, and you got
Yeah.
all the toys in front of you, and one minute you want to jump on the teddy bears, and next minute you want to be ram 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 with the trains and everything.
Yeah.
So you've got, I mean, we can talk about your upcoming performance at Pizza Express on the 20th of July, but
Correct.
you'll also be very much promoting your recently released your album, A Joni Kind of Mood, A Joni Kind of Mood.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that because I know Joni Mitchell was very much, I sort of see, like a resemblance between you and her in terms of how she was around her music, her paintings, her art, how she was around how she was perceived. She didn't want to be famous. She was quite low key, and yet she was so much.
Yeah, she definitely what you would say is a true artist, wasn't she? Or is she? You know, still just again somebody who seems to want to explore her soul and other art and not get hemmed in. And I like that, when she says, I don't know much about her to be honest, but when I've seen a couple of interviews and when she says she doesn't do music for a bit, just goes to painting and
Mm.
doesn't do that for a few months or however long. I think that's just so cool because it's so real. He's not doing it, you know, not doing it for the sake of it, just to be famous, like you say, or make money. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure she had a big drive and was ambitious, but not for like the standard reasons that you kind of see with artists today who just, they really do just want to be famous, a lot of them, don't they? It's
Mm.
about that.
Mm. And for you, I mean, we're going to talk a bit more about your album. Why did you choose Joni as maybe your reflection, if I may say that? Oh, I'm feeling all sort of really philosophical with this.
Yeah, no, that's a good. That was good reflection, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
why Joni? I mean, you say I mean, you've never met her, you didn't know that much about her, but you
yeah.
chose her. What was it about her that, um, that drew you to represented her in a way? Or
Yeah, I didn't discover until probably like my late 20s, early 30s, and I really got into her when I just like changed my life completely after a particular breakup where I just thought I've got to change my life now because this isn't working for me. So, and just she was just like the backdrop every day for me for like a year when I was living on my own, and it was just a very very important period, and and then just sort of evolved. I just thought, oh my gosh, I really would love to just interpret these tunes,
Mm.
not realizing how difficult they are. Well, I did realize, but it became more difficult as I tried to started learning them. And then it just became a mission, really, a personal mission. Really,
Mm.
it was just for me, really. But obviously, you want to package it and make it a nice bit of art, hopefully.
And what I mean, what do you want, and you may or may not want people to take away? Maybe you've left the album to be that blank canvas for others as they listen to it and draw from it what they will. But was there something there that you wanted people to maybe understand, to feel, to know, or is it really a blank canvas?
Yeah, I think that's true. It's like multifaceted because obviously I love people to discover her music. I mean, that's it's always amazing if you can. I sort of see it like I'm always thinking we don't look at music like writing or plays or where it just gets interpreted again over the years. Like I guess people cover songs, but it's not like a it's not like a traditional thing to do, is it? Just right, we're gonna revisit Bruce Springsteen or something, and as you would a play. And I feel like with her art and poetry, it is like poetry and playwriting, and it should just be recycled and just discovered again and again and again.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
Well, it does, because you said, to be rediscovered, and there's something in rediscovering something about anything, because
Mm,
you always see it through different filters, and
yeah, yeah,
it's almost like, oh, I didn't quite, oh, I heard that this time, and it brings in that newness as well, doesn't it? It keeps things alive, so to speak.
yeah. That's right. And obviously, the temptation is to completely copy how she does things, and I think it's important to follow her phrasing as much as you can and her top line melody. But it's also important to interpret it like you would a monologue or if you're acting in a play and bring in your own life to it. I
Yeah, I'm
think.
going to ask you that actually. How much of you are we going to find in that, in all the mix of that, and then what does that look like?
Yeah, well, yeah, that is so true because I had a process where when I was learning her material and arranging it I knew that I was ready to start trying to get it recorded when I'd be routining it and have gotten to a point where I knew it well enough and had got my chords and stuff together, and I just got really emotional and like I just it sounds so cheesy, but there'd be a day where with each particular tune where I would just choke up and I'd be like, okay, I feel like I get it now. That's how I feel. Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, outside of that, you perform with Simple Minds Heaven 17.
Yeah.
And I actually interviewed Sarah Brown a few months ago,
Yeah,
and
I saw that because I checked out some of your interviews. So yeah, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
it was so cool. It was really deep, and it was so cool. And her passion, just like you, for music, to perform, to give your best, to almost discover and go into, just go into certain places that maybe you've not been before as an artist, as a performer, as
Yeah,
a human being. Da-da. Um,
that's right.
you performing with Simple Minds and Heaven 17, how does that differ in terms of your expression when you do things for your own self?
Mm. Yeah, it's very, very different. I think you bring your musical palette to it and all your everything you can, all your experience and knowledge. And then I feel like I just want to hand that to, the main artists like Charlie and Jim. Um, you then it's up to them to, and it's up to me or you as a musician to just give them what they need, and that's definitely the main priority when I'm working for others, is just to not so much be a blank canvas, obviously, because I guess they hire you because they like something about you, but then you have to just give them what they need.
Mm.
If they might want to sound like the album live, or they might not. They might want to go in a different direction, and then things change, or you just yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're doing your own stuff, you're just answering to yourself, aren't you? It's
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And so from that 7-year-old that started out, playing her instruments to
Yeah.
where you are now, did you ever sort of feel that you would be in this place? Because I've checked you out obviously for the purpose of this interview, and you're really people. I've seen comments about you in terms of being humble and you know being being with one of the greatest as well in terms of your voice. I've listened to your stuff, and there is something about your voice that's very melodic, that's very, it's almost like a coming home. You listen to you and you're more like, oh,
Oh, that's
there's
really nice.
a resonance of I can just be who I am in this moment, and I can actually enjoy this moment as well. And there's this, it's almost this harmony that carries you along like this.
Mm,
So being
absolutely.
that 7-year-old to who you are now, did you ever think you would have become this huge or be in this type of space?
No, I never set out to do it at all. I really didn't until, I mean, I always did music, but it really was just it was, I did my studies and did it. See, I was around music growing up, so I couldn't really get away from it, but I wanted to do it. I wanted to learn, have my lessons and learn piano and stuff. But it was a therapy for me. I'd like rush home to play piano, but not for any other reason than just because I liked it. I never,
Mm,
I did performances and enjoy being in the orchestra and stuff, but I actually had really bad stage fright, and I really have had it for a long time, until, to be honest, up until Simple Minds, I was still really kind of battling with it, and it puts you off performing in a way, but you still do it because you have to do it, because you have to take your art to the world, don't you? You've got to get out there, and
yeah.
yeah, so it wasn't. No, I wanted to swim, I wanted to act, and I actually thought about doing advertising and other things. I just kind of, life just took me there. And I thought, okay,
No, that's
this is good. I'll go with this. Yeah.
nice, nice. And there's something you said about playing the piano. I've written it down. Um, or did I write it down? What do you say? Yes, you said you have a love affair with the piano.
Yeah.
And I guess when you talk about, going to those sometimes needing to go to those places for you, the piano was quite pivotal in, it's almost like being held by something bigger than you, outside of you, but you're part of it as well. Does that make sense?
Oh, something bigger than you. Yeah, exactly. Because the piano is a separate entity, but when you play it, it becomes you. So
Mm,
that's a good description of it, actually. Yeah, totally. You make it yours, you make it. And every piano is different. So you kind of, yeah, I can hear my little girl.
oh, I see. You got this blank, we're a black canvas. How old is she? How old is she?
Oh, she's 4 months. Yeah.
Oh, wow. She's just bringing, she's bringing it. She's bringing it. Brilliant. And
Lots of vocals, yeah.
would you say, as part of your career, what what has been some of the best moments of your career to date, Berenice?
Oh,
And there's probably loads, but and it may be hard to contain that to
yeah.
a few, but
Yeah, I'd have to separate. I guess I separate them into categories. I think that's good. So I guess I love doing the TV music. That's just like such a joy. And I love TV and film anyway. So putting the two together, when I got into that with my composing partner, Glenn Gregory from Heaven 17, that's been really special. I love that. And then just these I've done one Joni gig and I loved the gig. It's hard because it's like a sports thing. I'm sort of in it in the moment, but but afterwards I met nearly everyone in the room and it was just amazing. Just that was really special, I think, because it was such a long project to put together. And finally doing the gig and on my own as well. And then it was just nice. It was just really chilled and everyone was just so lovely. Yeah. So that was really special.
good, good. And we are going to wind down now so you can get back to little one. But for your gig at Pizza Express on the 20th of July, and I know this might sound a bit corny, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What are we going to get from you? What are we going to get from Berenice Scott around her album A Joni Kind of Mood?
So, well, it's going to be intimate, that's for sure, and warm. And I'm just going to be right there. And I want to share this incredible work with everybody and just breathe that life into it and spread it around the room. And hopefully, people who have particular songs that they love, they'll hear them and get swept up in the song. And it's going to be fun. Yeah.
That's a nice sort of finale to this. It's going to be fun, and that's
It'll be fun. Yeah, it'll be fun. Fun and intense, but fun. It'll be intense and then it'll be fun. Yeah.
that's the nice sort of juxtaposition. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Two things. Fantastic. Well, Berenice, I just want to say thank you. I've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed because even in the simplicity of the interview, there's been many sort of intense and powerful moments as well. And at one point, I felt as if I swallowed a thesaurus. I'm like, oh my God, Esther, you're a bit deep with this already, you know.
It's lovely. I love the questions very
Brilliant.
much.
Well, I'm hoping to see you on the 20th of July, ladies and gents. I'm talking to Berenice Scott, who's at Pizza Express in Holborn on the 20th of July. So get on down and have a really fun but intense moment. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to share before you go?
Just have a great day. A lovely day and love your loved ones.
Right. Thank you so much, Berenice. Lovely talking to you, and I will see you on the 20th.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
On the show today, we're sponsored by Run It First.